Those are live pictures we are seeing from Parliament buildings. There, the tunnel that you have seen, some members of Parliament and staff members are using to escape from Parliament to Bunge Towers. Remember, earlier on, we were speaking to Daniel Kariuki, who is camping at the Parliament buildings, assessing the situation and trying to inform us on whatever is happening there. And he did mention that some of the members of Parliament, as well as staff members, were trying to run to safety. But all these coming after some of the protesters managed to break a fence surrounding Parliament and managed to enter Parliament buildings. Of course, we saw some destruction of some sort happening. We saw them running out with some of the flags. We equally saw them break a few windows. And of course, we saw gunshots with security officers trying to quell that situation, trying to remove protesters from Parliament buildings. But it's equally good to note that we're getting confirmation from St. John's Ambulance saying that so far 8 protesters have been confirmed dead, and we equally saw a few ambulances coming to the Parliament buildings trying to tend or give aid to those who have been injured in the midst of these scuffles that are being witnessed here in Nairobi CBD. Remember, these particular protests that we're seeing have been happening across the country, from Mombasa to Nyeri to Nakuru to Eldoret. We have seen protesters come out in large numbers trying to ensure and protest against the Finance Bill 2024. They wanted their members of Parliament to reject that particular finance bill, saying that the tax measures that are being proposed are punitive and are draconian, if I may use the terms that are being used by Gen Z. Of course, they keep on saying that there's particular protests are being fueled by their anger and their hunger. They're complaining about the high cost of living. They're complaining about the unemployment crisis being faced in the country. They're equally complaining about the expenditure that the government seems to, in their words, they're saying that the government should reduce the expenditure. They want the public finances managed properly by the government and those who are in charge. And they equally want accountability from their leaders. Remember, this coming on a day that we saw the Finance Bill 2024 reach the committee stage, where we saw some of those amendments that were proposed by the government pass through. But of course, that final vote has not yet happened. It is yet to happen. All this is for the government to try and raise additional revenue of 346 billion shillings. They're saying this will help with running the country. But of course, those are live pictures you're seeing on the screen. This is what is happening here in Nairobi, the CBD Parliament buildings. Some protesters managed to enter the Parliament precincts, and of course some chaos of some sort was witnessed. Guns have been we've seen gunshots being witnessed. We've seen a few people being injured, others have been shot dead. And also we have seen the members of Parliament try and run to Bunge Towers, running to safety through that particular tunnel that is connecting Parliament buildings to Bunge Tower. Of course, we continue monitoring the situation, not just in Nairobi, but also in different parts of the country. We're equally monitoring the diaspora protests, the Kenyans who are in the diaspora, United Kingdom, USA. They're trying to, protest in solidarity with their fellow Kenyans. So this is the situation. So far, St. John's Ambulance has confirmed their number of deaths. When we last got that tally, it was 8 protesters who have been confirmed dead, several others injured. We have seen destruction of property in the CBD here in Nairobi. We've equally seen a police lorry being set on fire. We've seen Azimio allied members of Parliament, say they're in the side of the people, they're with the people when it comes to the rejection of this Finance Bill 2024. So that is the situation on the ground. We're trying to get our reporters on the ground to give us an update on what exactly is happening at this particular moment. As you can see those shots, it seems there's explosions, or is it fire that has been lit different parts. This is courtesy of TV47. This is inside Parliament. And you can see the destruction that has happened there. Tables broken. As you can see, there are broken windows, broken furniture, destruction that has been, done by those protesting the Finance Bill 2024. So far, Parliament building seems to have been evacuated. No one seems to be in sight apart from security officers, police officers. And earlier on, Daniel Kariuki did mention that it was the Parliament security that did respond as fast as they could to the breach of those Parliament buildings. So that is the situation on the ground. We keep on trying to figure out what exactly is happening. That is the destruction that has been witnessed here in Nairobi, in the Parliament buildings, in CBD. Of course, protesters are saying they're fighting for their rights, they're fighting for their future, and that the cost of living is hard as it is. And these taxes that will be imposed by the Finance Bill 2024 will only make lives harder for them. Remember, we're coming at a time, this is coming at a time where we're seeing the rate of unemployment rise here in the country, as well as the rate of the high cost of living, shoot due to what is being witnessed not only in the country but also globally by different issues that are causing this. But also, as we knew earlier on, security had been beefed up at Parliament buildings. I believe that is still the situation right now. We're trying to get our reporters to assess what exactly is happening. But remember, this comes at a time when the Financial Bill 2024 had reached the committee stage, and we saw members of Parliament pass those amendments. So we're yet to get to the voting stage that is yet to happen before the bill is completely passed and, of course, taken to the president for ascension. But that is the situation on the ground. We saw members of Parliament today consider amendments, as well as they will be voting on clause-by-clause basis to ensure that they agree with the clauses that are being passed in the Finance Bill 2024. But it's equally good to know note that we saw those amendments being done last week on Tuesday. Remember, President William Ruto did chair a Kenya Kwanza parliamentary group meeting where some of these amendments came through. And of course, what the government is saying is that they listened to the complaints of the Kenyans during the public participation stage, as Kenyans were taking concern and issue on the issue of the VAT on bread, the issue on the VAT on edible oil. These all were repealed from this Finance Bill 2024, including the 2.5% motor vehicle circulation tax. So the government did say, and we've seen members of parliament trying to defend their stance of, defending this finance bill and ensuring that it passed. Last week on Thursday, during the second reading, we saw 204 members of parliament vote yes towards the Finance Bill 2024, while 115 voted for no. Many of them were saying, those who voted for no were saying that, this particular bill, it will hurt Kenyans, and of course, this will only ensure that the cost of living is harder for Kenyans. But that is the situation on the ground. As you can see there, police officers